Good morning. Happy Saturday. It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Keg, here with another NBA Prize Picks video. I found three that I like in the early look. Hopefully, when some more plays come up, I'll pop out another video and we'll go over some more of the plays that jump in. But again, I like to get these videos out early so we can maybe jump on some of these lines that they've posted early. So with that, if you like these videos, they help you research, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel. No days off. We're just going to keep chugging away, and hopefully this helps you make some money. But with that, let's dive right in. All right, as you can see, I got the Prizepicks desktop version up to the left, and we will go through the top 3 picks that I found early, and then maybe talk about a few scenario-based decisions that we can make early, depending on how we see the games going. Or that. If you don't have a Prizepicks account, head on over there. Use the promo code DFSArmy to get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. The link is in the description below. All right. The first one's going to be a little funky here that I found, but digging into it a little bit, it does make a little sense. We're going to actually go over to rebounds, and we're not going to go to Embiid. We're not going to go to Luka. We're not going to go to the Looney. We're actually going to go to Jalen Brunson. We're going to go to Jalen Brunson. We're going to go the over here. Jalen Brunson has actually hit this prop 8 out of his last 10 games, which the big thing for him is his playing time is going to be even more solidified, right? He's played 34 and 36 minutes in his last 2 games. He's going up against his Indy team. He's played Indy once back on December 10th where he went over at 7 rebounds, with no Tim Hardaway Jr. in the lineup. In those 10 games that he was out, he went over this 4 out of 7 times. And so even though the matchup isn't fantastic about Indy, a lot of the Indy stats are kind of skewed with, a lot of their injuries. So it's kind of hard to look at them and say, yeah, they're a good rebounding team, but Malcolm Brogdon is still out. Sabonis should play, but if he were to sit for whatever reason, it'd help him even more. But there's no Miles Turner. Chris Duarte is questionable. Goga is questionable as well. So there's a lot of injuries here. And with how much he plays on the court and how he's all over the place, I completely get this play. I really do. So just looking at it, it just makes a lot of sense that I want to take the over here for Jalen Brunson. It's one that we're going to hammer. And another one I looked at too, if you wanted to take a shot at it, is points, rebounds, and assists. It's another one that I like with him. So I know that you can't play 2 of them together, and I always get this when I recommend 2 together. But the over on points, rebounds, and assists, the 7 games he played without Tim Hardaway Jr., he went over this every time, 7 for 7. So it's one of those things that even in the last 10, with everyone aboard, he went over this mark 7 out of 10 times. So I think I'm fine with either one. If you want to take a shot on the over rebounds 3.5 or over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists, because he just does a little bit of everything, right? That's his game. So I don't mind looking at this. Dallas is favored by 10 here, so even it just helps him even more because they'll take Luka and Porzingis out before they'll take Jalen Brunson out. They kind of let him run that second unit. So either one of those that you want to take, I have no problem jumping on that at all. The next one might be a little bit controversial because it's always scary for me to recommend ever taking an under on a guy like James Harden. But I'm going to recommend it today to take the under on James Harden. The matchup's not great. Playing against Golden State. The over-under is 230. Golden State's favored by 7 here. My big thing is just if Golden State, yes, they don't have Draymond, right? But they have Clay back. And yes, Kyrie Irving and Harden are playing. And if this game stays close, then he probably has a good chance at hitting this over. So when I talk about scenario-based, if you think this game is going to get, Golden State is going to win this game, then I would lean the under. If you think it's going to be close and Harden and Brooklyn has a chance to win it, I would bet the over on this. But I'm gonna personally take the under on this. If we look at games that he's lost, his last 10 games that he's lost, he's went under this mark 7 to 10 times. So he's went under this 70% of the times when they lost. The only times he went over was that Lakers game on the 25th. But before that, when they lost to Minnesota, he had 31, lost to Cleveland 39, lost to Milwaukee 32, lost to Memphis 31. And the only time that they played Golden State Warriors on November 16th, I'd have to look up. I didn't have a chance to look up and see who all played in that game with the big three or whatnot. He still only had 32 points, rebounds, and assists. So with that, I'm just going to recommend taking the under here just because I feel like it's on the road. It's if he struggles at all, if Kyrie Irving struggles at all, it's going to be hard for them to win because Golden State's defense is legit. And again, even without Draymond in there, they still have Clay and they still have guys that can get it done. Even if you talk about Gary Payton II, man, he can defend really well as well. So again, I like the under on James Harden here at 44.5. I think that's just a tad bit high, but like I said, if you think they're going to win, I would lean on the over. I think they're going to lose this game, and just looking at history and stats, I'm going to lean the under here. And we're going to stay in the same game for this third one that I kind of found on this early Saturday morning with, again, not a whole lot of plays here. We're going to go to points and staying in the same game. And we're actually going to go Kavon Looney, and we're going to go over here. Just looking at Looney's stats, he's went over this mark in 6 out of his last 10 games and 4 out of his last 5. The minutes, fluctuate. That's the only thing. It's always scary for me to take a prop on a Steve Kerr team. Like, Steve Kerr does whatever the hell he wants to do. It's a little scary sometimes when you take a prop with him, but just looking at the early lines, and this is why this is like the third one out of the 3 that I'll talk about this morning, is you just don't know if they're going to go small. Are they going to throw Belize out there at the 5 if they go small? I think as long as they have LMA out there, LaMarcus Aldridge, they'll probably need to put Looney out there. But Belize, I guess, could guard him. And again, 6.5 points is not a lot. And like I said, just looking at it, and he's went over this in 6 out of his last 10. If we look at games they win by, he's won over this in 3 out of his last 4 that they win. So he doesn't put up a ton of points. A lot of his stuff is putbacks, and maybe he'll get the occasional dish when Clay or Curry is driving. So again, it's always a little scary to take these Golden State Warriors picks, but that one, the line just looks a tad bit low. So I would lean the over on that one. But I still like Jalen Brunson. Again, rebounds and points, rebounds, and assists are my favorite here, especially being a big spread, being at home. I just feel like they are going to. He's going to play minutes regardless. He plays a ton of minutes, and these are just too low. I know Luka and Porzingis are both playing, but again, if it for some reason it gets out of reach, he's going to play even more. But even if it's a competitive game, he's going to be out there a ton. A lot of those shots definitely go to Brunson with no Hardaway out there just chucking. So those would be the 2 building blocks, and they probably will be with me even if once we get to the main plays when they drop a few more here later in the day. But again, just found 3 here that I liked in my quick research. The other one that I'll talk about that I'm not going to throw up here is actually Tyrese Maxiell, the over points, rebounds, and assists. The one thing with him, it really truly depends on what's going to go on with Seth Curry. So Seth Curry is now questionable this game, and Shake Milton is still out. So he's still going to run a ton of point. But if Seth Curry's in there, it definitely hurts his scoring a little bit. So if Seth Curry's in, I would actually lean under 16.5 points for Maxey, just because Seth Curry is going to take a lot of those shots. So this is more of an injury-based decision that I'll make. But if he's out, I would lean the over on 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. But that's only if Seth Curry's out, because he's done this in 3 out of his last 5 games that he's went over this. and the minutes are there: 38, 35, 41, 45. So he's playing a ton of minutes. Sacramento gives up 29 points allowed in the league, 24th in rebound, 21st in assist rate, 19th in point guard defense. They're 10.5-point favorites. He'll play regardless, even if it's in a blowout, because they don't have any point guards. So if Seth is sitting out, there's no Milton. The one thing about Tyrese Maxiell, if they're sitting everybody else, he will still be out there on the court, which just even solidifies and helps his numbers even more. So it's one of those things. I like the over here if Seth Curry sits. If Seth Curry plays, then I'm going to come over here to points, and I'm going to play the under on points here, because I don't think he gets there with Seth Curry, because the volume won't be there for him. So again, you have to make that decision if you want to try to lock it in early and guess he's going to sit. If you want to wait for the injury news, I completely understand with that. So those are the picks that I got early this Saturday morning. I appreciate each and every one of you who takes the time to listen to these videos. Again, if you got some plays you like yourself, leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer each and every one of them. It's a little hard for me to answer when we get a couple hours out from lock, because I do the NBA projections for DFSArmy, and that takes precedence over answering any questions on my YouTube channel. So with that, I appreciate you guys. Hit that like button for me on your way out. Subscribe to the channel, and I hope you have a fantastic Saturday. And with that, see you on the flip side. Deuces.